I come to know Vietnam through documentaries, books and conversations with friends. I know of the Vietnamese people's 1,000-year history of building and defending their nation and their culture. Those fundamental spiritual values that have been preserved over time can be seen through the formation and development of traditional handicrafts such as weaving, wood carving, or pottery, which have been passed down for generations. Traveling to Vietnam this time, I heard much about a new community-based tour in Bac Ninh province. From Dr. Kim Ninh, the representative of the Asia Foundation, I learned more about why the foundation supported the development of the Bac Ninh community-based tour.
Trong quá trình thích ứng với nền kinh tế thị trường, với cái sự tác động của bên ngoài rất là cao, và đó thường gây ra sự khó khăn cho các đồng địa phương với những nền văn hóa truyền thống của họ. Đó là một lý do tại sao Quỹ châu Á muốn hỗ trợ cái chương trình du lịch địa phương này, nhằm hỗ trợ cho các cộng đồng địa phương làm sao để mà họ có thể có một cái sự chuẩn bị mạnh mẽ hơn để đối phó và cũng như thích ứng, và cũng như có thể là đạt được những gì mà nền thị trường đưa đến cho họ dựa trên cái kho tàng xã hội văn hóa mà họ sẵn có.
I wanted to have such a trip, not only to see the sights but also to have the opportunity to understand the desire of people who wanted to preserve and develop the cultural values inherited from their elders, immersing myself in the culture of the place. And my expectations were met in the community tour to Bac Ninh. Departing Hanoi at 8 a.m. along Highway 18 to Ha Long Bay, we arrive at the pottery village of Phu Lãng after almost 2 hours of traveling. Jars and pots line the village road, and further on, kiln after kiln. Just getting off the bus, we were warmly greeted by our local host. In the cool, misty weather of the early spring and warmed by the welcoming tea, we were given a brief introduction about Phu Lãng village and felt clearly the friendly hospitality of the local people. We were eager to explore the ancient pottery village on the Go River. Took us around on a narrow and winding village path, and we glimpsed curiously the numerous yards with pottery products being dried in the sun. There are pots made to simmer traditional herbal medicine, pots in which to stew fish, or jars to store coal. The simple items are a potent reminder of Vietnam's agricultural and rural life. Phu Lãng is easily recognized by bare brick houses with undulating roofs, and pottery products are found everywhere in the yards, in the fields, and along the village roads. Phu Lãng is easily recognized by the bare brick houses with undulating roofs, and pottery products are found everywhere in the yards, in the field, and along the village roads. Phu Lãng ceramics is known for its unique yellow-brown glaze, often referred to as the color of eel skin, which ranges from light to dark yellow and carrying red or brown tones. Phu Lãng glaze can be found nowhere else, and the distinctiveness of Phu Lãng ceramics also reflects its important place in the history of the Kinh Bac region. Phu Lãng glaze can be found nowhere else, and the distinctiveness of Phu Lãng ceramics also reflects its importance in the history of the Kinh Bac region. we stopped by Zhang Ceramics, a veteran artisan ceramics workshop. The first sight that greeted us was an old woman with silvery hair working hard at a pottery wheel. She told us, "I'm 80 years old this year, but I still make pottery because it is a craft passed down from our forefathers, but above all, because I love this job." Phu Lãng pottery continue to exist today surely because of the commitment of such artisans devoted to the tradition of the craft. Zhang Ceramics specializes in traditional ceramics of Phu Lãng village, which includes different types of pots and jars for varying uses that are closely related to the life of the Northern Delta residents. This is pottery that contains the heart and soul of village life, and the specialty of Phu Lãng pottery is that its glazes come from natural materials taken from the ashes of firewood, rice husk, lime and stones, materials that are simple and friendly to the environment. We continue on to visit the Thanh Ceramics, which impressed us immediately with its large and lush ground. The green trees and the fragrant lotus pond must offer some inspiration to the pottery artisans. Thanh Ceramics represent the modern fine art pottery direction of Phu Lãng village. Its main products are for interior and exterior decorative purposes, such as flower vases, lamps, and ceramic paintings. Here we had the chance to practice pottery making under the friendly guidance of the members of the family. We were mesmerized watching the artisans turn, shape, and carve blocks of clay into objects of beauty. As Mr. Thanh confided, the silt of the Go River brings Phu Lãng villagers the special materials to create this unique pottery, and like many other villagers in Phu Lãng, he came to pottery naturally and passionately. Listening to Mr. Thanh, I really wanted to learn more about the local people and their pottery. So the guide took us to Mr. Tuan's workshop, which specializes in producing spiritual ceramics. Mr. Tuan believes that potters see a ceramic product as a living thing, containing the 5 basic elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, that when combined with the human spirit and creativity, can generate harmonious forms and elegant colors. Leaving Phu Lãng village, we proceeded to Bac Ninh Pagoda, a temple located on the southern bank of the Duong River. This is one of the most traditional of pagodas in northern Vietnam. Located in a peaceful landscape, the inspiring landscape promotes a meditative mood, urging men to contemplate what is good. We arrived by noon, and our local hosts welcomed us warmly. Laying out a lunch of local specialties, the local guides were clearly proud in telling us their histories and how they were produced from the fresh and unique ingredients found locally. The stories about the dishes made us eat with even more appetite. The hospitality was truly heartwarming. After lunch, we continue with our visit to Bac Ninh Pagoda. The pagoda is noted for its ancient architecture and artistic heritage, and we admire the famous statue of Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess of mercy, with her 1,000 eyes and 1,000 hands, the intricately carved 9-story Lotus Tower, and the tall Bao Nghiêm Tower from which the pagoda takes its name. Together they constitute an artistic picture which is the true value of Bút Tháp Pagoda. Bút Tháp Pagoda is also a masterpiece of sculpture in wood and stone. It still contains many rare wood carvings, from the incense altars to the rafters carved with dragons and phoenixes. The upper hall is surrounded by a stone railing, with the bas-relief carvings of beautiful landscapes of stork flying over lotus ponds, fish swimming, and children herding buffaloes. The pagoda seems both venerable and wild, with 2 stately ancient banyan trees standing, and grass greening the path, lightly scented by lotus blooms. The pagoda is large, defined by separate buildings and open spaces, unlike most other pagodas. It was very cold on the last days of the year, but a large number of tourists kept coming to Bút Tháp Pagoda, both domestic and foreign, to admire its exquisite architecture and refined interior. The drive from Bút Tháp Pagoda to Viễn Xá took about an hour, but my fatigue disappeared as we were met by the Quan Họ singers in their traditional clothes. The village has a special local history connected to its unique folk singing tradition of Quan Họ, and I was looking forward to learning more. The village Cung Temple and Jade Well are integral to the cultural and spiritual life of the Diem villagers and the princess who taught them Quan Họ singing. In the Jade Well lives a pair of ancient carps whom the villagers believe to be hundreds of years old and personify the princess herself. The water of the well is prized for good tea, for giving the villagers their unmatched fine singing voice, and the reason behind the silky hair of Diem village girls. These are the stories of childhood, of fairy tales, but they are very real to Diem villagers. Quan Họ folk singing was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage in 2009, and Diem village is proud of the princess who gave them Quan Họ. I went to the temple dedicated to her, the Vua Ba Temple, and legend has it that she was the daughter of King Hung. When she came of marriage age, the king launched a ball-throwing festival to look for his son-in-law. Unfortunately, the winner was not favored by the princess, so she asked her father for a 50-person entourage for a spring journey. On the way, she and her entourage were swept down by strong winds to present-day Diem village. Falling for the charming land, she stayed to reclaim the wasteland, taught the villagers to raise silkworms and weave cloth and farming. She also composed songs and taught them how to sing the Quan Họ as we know it today. It is here that one can get a clearer understanding of Quan Họ's complexities. It has 213 melodies with more than 400 songs. The singers sang songs of welcome, inviting guests to drink their tea and eat their betel nuts. But most surprising to me was the warm interactions between the singers and guests. Diem villagers are proud of their unique art and rich style of Quan Họ singing. Today, the singers and their visitors had a very good time in singing songs of love and of the homeland. Not only enjoying the singing, we were also treated to the local specialty of cooked rice cakes that fill us with the nutty flavors of green bean and the delicate fragrance of the vegetable that dye the rice flour a soft green color. The song Farewell moved us, and we seemed to walk with slower steps. Saying goodbye to the Quan Họ singers, we wish them well in their efforts to preserve this unique folk singing tradition that is now part of the world's cultural heritage. This is my second time visiting Vietnam, and I just want to tell those of you who are watching to partake of a meaningful community-based tour of Bac Ninh such as this, to truly understand the traditional values of the Kinh Bac region and to help to preserve them for the future.